Hey everybody, happy Friday. Friday. Awkward moment. Sorry. Um Something wrong with my brain, I'm convinced. Hey Lisa Colovi. Hey Holman's Homestead. Good to see you guys. Hey Gwen at Broke Cowgirl Homestead. I was going to combine the Cow Emporium there. Hey Net, Cow Emporium. Good to see you guys. Hey Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. Hi Andale. Hope you're doing well. Huh. How is it end of September? Like, what in the world? Gosh, it's insane. I can't believe I'm still watering a garden at the end of September, even though we had frost Labor Day weekend. Like, that's just bizarre to me. This whole winter squash thing is a lot larger than I anticipated when I planted them. What the heck? Oh my gosh. So yeah, I've got a video coming out. It'll come out Monday. I actually have it edited and uploaded. Um, Yay me, 2 in a week I got made. Um, but I just did like a walk and talk around the property and showed you what things are going on. But it's just so crazy because like the zucchini and the yellow squash, the house garden is done. The front gardens, the herbs are going crazy. And we're waiting on the stinking winter squash. They're taking forever. Forever. They do take over, Andale. I tell you, I had bush acorn squash that I grew. So they're manageable, except the leaves. I cut the leaves all summer because I had to the blossoms weren't getting pollinated, so it was driving me crazy. And then the butternut squash is supposed to have shorter vines. I beg to differ. Of course, I had like 40 plants in there. But let's see here. Oh, that's exciting, Heather. Good for you. Signed up to do a garden tour end of May with the garden club. That's very exciting. Hey, Spartman, good to see you. Gwen says, if you have time, Lisa, watch Little Mountain Ranch video on her squash harvest. So I can be envious? Is that what you're telling me? She's already harvested it? I started mine in April and I'm still waiting. And I looked at the 30-day forecast. So it looks like the 8th through the 11th, we're going to have frost, or the 9th to the 11th, we're going to have frost. I'll cover those nights. But after that, October 17th, they're coming out, come heck or high water, because we have a week of hard temps in the 20s. So I'm not eking them on any longer than that. Hey, Ariella, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, Spartman, my East River friend. Gonna go from 80 above to -10 below in a week. Just watch. Yeah. Well, the weird thing was the frost that hit over Labor Day weekend. It didn't kill ours. If I would have kept watering, they probably would have kept going. But it just wasn't worth it. The plants served us well. But two friends of mine who are about a mile as the crow flies, they had some in the 20s and it killed. Well, the one who did not have a greenhouse, everything was gone. Even the kale got bit hard because I was watching her stuff and excuse me. I was watching her stuff and I had to cut off the burnt leaves so it would keep growing because I knew we'd get warmer. Gwen says, yeah, it's unreal how much she harvested. So I'm going to be drooling watching that, apparently. I will check it out, Gwen. Spartman said 3 weekends of not being able to work on projects, getting a bit itchy to get stuff done. Oh, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. We've been trying to knock things off the lists, and that was really what my video was about. It was like a walk around and then talked about getting things off the list and, why sometimes we'll, there's a holdup because you got to get stuff and everything. Yes, and they will. In fact, I accidentally, in my excitement, knocked a smaller butternut off. Excuse me. And it is ripening on the counter at about the same snail's pace as the ones outside. So, what I usually do is you're going to laugh. Usually, what I do is when a frost is forecasted that we don't think we can cover for, I pick everything, even if it's immature. And then later on, I decide what's worth keeping and what's not. So with all the peppers that we had, that was a horrible harvest. Even the immature ones, the hot ones, the sweet ones, I freeze dried them all and then made a pepper powder. It's kind of like a sweet hot pepper powder. So I'm going to be keeping that. But I will do the same with the squash and I'll let them sit inside because once the 17th hits, it's a week of really below freezing temps is what the forecast says now, which is normal. So that makes sense. And the good news is I'm not going to cure them to keep over winter. I'm going to leave them in the house to cure for about a week, or if they need to mature until that's done. And then I plan to make a soup and freeze it. So I don't know if the soup will make it into the freezer though, because it's going to be good. Let's see here. Spartman said I could get more done if I didn't have to do this silly working to get paid thing. No kidding. Ariel is heading into summer because they're the opposite of us. Yeah, we were like 80, 82 today, which is warm for us. And we were like 79 yesterday, and I think tomorrow is going to be, excuse me, 71, then 79. It's pretty much in the 70s and then 60s. Doing an apple press tomorrow to make apple juice. Very exciting, Heather. That's awesome. Very awesome. According to the Coop thermometer, it's currently 76 out right now. Wow. That's pretty warm, Sparkman, for now. We're at 62. It says here. So what I wanted to talk to you about tonight is helping others, right? Because I know that's something that we talk about a lot and it's important to us. And I know a lot of you do the same, but we just think it's a real important thing to do is to help other people, right? Some people sometimes are going through something. Sometimes they're having a hard time. Sometimes they need a shoulder. Sometimes they don't. I mean, it's just really important to help other people. And for me, the kindness aspect is, excuse me, the kindness aspect is so important in this world. This world is absolutely bonkers. And so it's really important to spread the kindness, right? Spread the joy. High 80s and low 90s here for the foreseeable future. Oh, God bless you, Gwen. God bless you. So, helping others could be you're donating things to a place like food, a food bank. Even if you're not directly giving it to the person, you could be donating it to a food bank, clothes, blood, volunteering time at an organization, helping neighbors, helping friends, making meals, that kind of thing. Those are all good ways to help people. And in this dark, crazy, chaotic world, like Andale says, kindness always wins. It always does. There's so much negativity. One of the reasons I closed out our Facebook account was the barrage of negativity, not necessarily on our account, but when I scroll through and I look at things and people who don't even know the people posting are just so nasty. And I know it's all social media. I'm not naive, but wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm sorry, Annette. I knew I miss you guys on Facebook too. I have to tell you, I'm relieved that I'm not on it. And it's not because I don't miss people, I do. But I feel lighter not being on it. I feel lighter not being on it. It's less time. Um, heck, I week. But it's just, I was in a freeze dryer group when I first started on some of those things on Facebook, and I was in a Facebook group, and I had posted something just that I was excited about what I freeze dried. And I got like 10 comments that were like, "Did you make X's in the berries?" And I'm like, "No, no, I didn't make X's in the berry." Well, you need to do that to make sure they're completely dry. Um, I freeze dried blueberries, and they were dry. And then everybody talks about running the machines for like a week and a half. I'm telling you, if you heard the hours, and don't get me wrong, I know that higher humidity climates have to run them a lot longer because Harvest Right even sends out a notification in the summer that says you're probably going to have longer run times because of higher humidity, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. But, and it wasn't that they were, I don't want to say they were mean to me because they weren't, but it was just, I just said I was excited. And I was like, Lord, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even freeze mine. I did them defrosted, so to speak. Fresh, just rinse them off. But it's just it's an example of there's no there just wasn't a lot of kindness. And I could cite other examples. I could cite a lot more examples. And it's not just Facebook, it's all across. So for instance, tonight I posted on Instagram about the fact that the dark and naked side of Instagram has found out about the reposting feature. And so now I get a notification that says something about our sign was reposted. And I found that kind of weird because people are not going to repost that. They reposted it with a note on it to tell me they'll look at their stories. And I went and looked at the account, delete the repost, delete the account, and block, because it was not what I wanted to see this evening. And I'm not a prude, but I have my own. I don't need to see someone else's. Let's just say that. Yes, block, unfriend, snooze. Yeah. Um, but yeah, it drives me crazy. Let me just go back up. Had another clothes clear out to the thrift stores, reducing stuff so I could travel light when I finally get out of Earth's butt. There you go, Ariella. um, Spartman said, "You think that's bad? Try asking a question on a Linux forum." Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. That's kind of like canning pages. Post something and they immediately jump to, "Did you follow a safe tested recipe to a T?" Oh, exactly. Exactly. And yet I have to say, I never got a nasty comment on Facebook on my posts that I remember. I've gotten more of them on YouTube. Mainly if I post the piglets, I get called a piglet with a capital K. I'm sure you can figure out the rest. I don't want to say it in case it triggers something, but because we eat our pigs. Or they say, don't eat the pigs. And it's like, I posted a cute piglet video. I didn't say I was eating the pigs. Which makes me crazy. The standard reply to any question, no matter how well you articulated, is RTFM. So yeah. So like I said, it's been, I miss it, but at the same time, it's working out for me. In fact, I have to remove it from my YouTube channel and stuff like that because you have to do it on the computer. Anne says, I've gotten awful comments on Instagram, cray. I've gotten a couple of nasty comments on Instagram. But honestly, the most nastiest comments I've received have been YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. And on Instagram, the nastiest ones I've received were when I responded to someone else's content and someone felt the need to reply to me. So, and I just bloop, bloop, bye, bloop, bloop, bye. So, yeah, I have the comment filter on YouTube. I don't review all of them because I really don't care if they put stuff like that. Because when I see it, I handle it. Exactly. Exactly. You can laugh. You have to laugh. It's not about you personally. I like the thing that makes me laugh is the assumptions. Like there's assumptions in there that you don't watch our channel, you don't know anything about it, but you watch one short and you're making an assumption. I will say this, and I wish I kept the comment to remember what the person said. I did post something about raising our own meat on Instagram, and I said, if you're going to be, I don't want any hate, and I will delete and block any hate because you shouldn't be here then if you don't like what I'm doing. And the person answered, I chose not to answer them. But they did not attack me. And I can't remember what they said. Gosh, I wish I would have remembered. But I felt like they respected what I was saying. And they were expressing their opinion in a nice way. And I was actually impressed. So that was pretty cool. Hey there, welcome to my Cape Cod life. I hope you're feeling better. I saw that you were saying you weren't feeling good. Helping others can be tricky. Very, very tricky. I don't mind sharing this. Hey, Ann, little Frenchie in Big Texas. Good to see you. We recently helped a friend of mine who had surgery. And Annette was saying that helping friends can be tricky. I'm glad you're much better. So a friend of mine is really stubborn, and she's got a similar background to me. She's older than I am. She had surgery and she really needed some assistance. So I brought her a meal just to help her out because she can't get around. And I was telling a friend of mine that she gave me a hard time about it. And I said, I could kick you in the spot where you had your surgery and take you down. So don't argue with me. And she laughed like heck and let me bring the meal over. So it is tricky. I had to find a way to get in there and get her to listen to me. Plus, I told her I could wrestle her and I could beat her. Thanks, Lisa Colovi. I appreciate all you're doing. But I think it's just really important that we remember to be kind and we remember to help other people when we can, because that's important. because the world is just, for me, the world is just dark. And for me, it's like you have to find some kind of light and some kind of hope so that you're not losing faith in humanity, because it's just, you could still be cautious. You could still obviously be very leery of people. I totally get that. I'm not trying to paint a Pollyanna vision of the world, but at the same time, I think that you don't want to lose that little bit of human connection that is important, you know? What do you guys think? I'm curious what you guys think. For me, if I looked at everybody as, if I looked at the world as hopeless, which is easy to see these days, then what do you have? What do you have? So welcome to my Cape Cod life, said the world is dark, but I don't have to be. That's beautifully said. I really like that. Handel says, I find it tricky to allow others to help me. That's tough. I struggle with that too. And a friend of mine, Anne, said to me, you're always there to help other people, yet you don't let anyone help you. So she's like, they want to help you. They want to give back to you. Let them give back to you, because that's how they want to show their appreciation for you. And that kind of hit home for me for a while. And I think that can be pretty good. Ariella said, on another note, Thursday night's event in the city was positive. I'm glad, Ariel. That's good. I'm glad you're finding positive things. It's just hard. You can't live in negativity your whole life. It's just brutal. Spartman said, I'm not sure if it's the age or just everything that has gone on and is going on. I sadly want to push the button. Yeah. And that's where it starts to impact you personally, and you start to get bitter, I find, The Cow Emporium says, I find people highly reactive in my local bubble. I love helping others, being so empathic, it's almost impossible not to. Yeah, I agree. And some people are going to be highly reactive, and we don't have control over that. We don't. Some people won't let you, and that's their call. They have the right to make those decisions, right? But you can offer, you can be kind. Sometimes it's not just what you can do for them, it's just you being present for them. That is a gift. Garden, oh. Garden club started back. I like it because it's just about gardening. That's really cool, Heather. I love that you're doing that. Your garden club sounds like the equivalent for me of my fiber group that I go to. I love my fiber group. I never want to miss it because I really love it. It's really good for me, and it's a lot of fun. Anne says, I love to help others. It brings such joy, but allowing them to do the same is a whole different thing. LOL, I'm getting better at it. Let them have the joy, Anne. Let them have the joy. They want to experience the joy that you bring them. We really try to help those in our circle. If everyone did that in their circle, how awesome would that be? Because we all have different circles. So true. So true. Absolutely. I agree, Gwen. The Cow Emporium says, what I don't love is being pressured to help school fundraisers. I get you there. I don't like that either. But I think that there's I guess I wasn't thinking of that when I scheduled this live, because I guess the helping that I'm talking about is helping out people in your circles like Gwen was talking about. But that's a good point you bring up. Don't say you're stuck, Ariella. Don't say you're stuck. You're going to get out. It's going to happen. If you say you can't, you won't. Got to hold out hope for it. Keep working towards it. I think a lot of damage has been done to all of us over the past 4+ years. It's hard finding it, but being the example is something to always strive for. Yep. I agree. When I first going through cancer treatment, my good friend said, all the good you have done in the world will now come back to you. She was not wrong. Spoiler alert, the cancer is gone. That is wonderful news. Wonderful news. And I love the way you put that. When you give people great advice and they ignore it, hands up. They have the right to ignore it. That's the hard part, right? You can give them great advice. They're going to do what they want to do. And that's their choice, right? It seems like whenever I try to help someone out, it usually backfires. I'm sorry to hear that part, man. I've had some backfires, but I just, I guess I don't dwell on it because sometimes backfires backfire. Sometimes it's not going to go the way you intended. Sometimes people get not nice about it, for a lack of a better word. It is their choice, Gwen, but it's also their loss. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ann Dale brought up like watching someone's animals or mowing their grass or making a meal. It means so much. Absolutely. Absolutely. We started this farm with the intent that we knew traveling was going to be not something we did often because we didn't know a lot of people. We knew that finding a farm sitter was going to be a bit of a challenge, and we accepted that because that's what we wanted, this, right? And so one of the things that something had come up when we had, trying to think what it was, in 2021, something had come up, and and it wasn't my mom's death because that was a totally different thing, but someone that is a friend of ours that we met early on had said, I'll take care of the chickens. We had a dozen chickens and they were chicks, but they were out in the coop already. But they were still, they may be 5 weeks old. And we have some cold days in the spring when we got them, and some wet days because of cold rain and stuff, where I didn't want them being out there. And she had said, I'll take care of them. I'll take care of them. And she took care of them for me. And I was super grateful having an eye on them. The same people came back when my mom had passed away in August of that year. And by then, that was the reason why we drove to North Carolina and back and took Diesel, was we didn't want her having one more animal to take care of. So at that point, we had Sherman, Maggie, and Winston, our 2 pigs, and we had all the chickens, and they graciously took care of those animals, and I'm forever thankful for that because it just made life so much easier. One less thing to worry about. I got a little sentimental there. Annette at the Cow Emporium says, I think my favorite is surprise helping people. I love surprise helping people. I dropped off a garden box for a beautiful soul a couple weeks ago, and she was so thankful she cried. Aw, I love that. I love that. What a gift. What a gift, too. It's like all the accomplishment and pride and the hard work you put into your boxes, and you surprise somebody with this amazing homegrown gift, I'd be crying too. Oh, incredible. Get some Java, Spartman. It is. It's so nice to be able to do that, you know. And I mean, we've had we joke that our friends know how to get rid of stuff when they struggle to throw it out because they'll call us and we'll come take it. We're like the local dumpster. But you know, I had somebody said, "Hey, can you come get all this wood from building my deck?" It was pressure treated wood. It was actually nice wood. Um, and he said, "If you want to come take all this, I don't need it. Like the deck's new, I'm not going to need it. And I really don't have the storage room." So of course, Ryan said, "Yes. Let me tell you, my pigs have the most beautiful looking pig ramp because we built them a new ramp with it. Absolutely free. And it looks lovely. Looks absolutely lovely." And Dale said, "Yes, so appreciated when others help. We certainly try to do the same. Not tit for tat, but maybe not even the same person, but putting it out there in the universe." Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. It's not tit for tat. Holman said, "Awesome." Yeah, wait do you see it? I show you guys the ramp in the video on Monday. And then it says, "Before you told me you got that wood for free, I was like, they bought some fancy wood." Wow. Yeah, no, not us. Ryan will drive by. We have two hardware stores in town. One is a little like one's an Ace Hardware, one's a little different. And the cool part is we know when they have cull lumber available because they put it on the corner right by the stop sign. So Ryan will drive by and he's like, "Ooh, we need some lumber." And you see these boards that are like, but you get it so much cheaper, and usually you can cut off what you don't need. So that's what's pretty cool about it. But yeah, it was funny. Some of them are stained, some of them are not. But the pigs have a really good ramp, and the old ramp we had, we used plain old plywood. We knew it wasn't going to last, but it was what we had, so we used it and said, "Let's just get through a few years," and it lasted till this year. And I said to Ryan, I said, "Look, I'm afraid I'm going to fall through this thing. I'm afraid the pigs are going to fall through this thing. We really got to get this on the fall list." And that's what we did. Yes, pay it forward. I agree. It's pay it forward. And that's real important to do, you know? Like some of the things that we've obtained off of auctions that are like I call them old rusty farm implements. There's some that we have kept, and there is some that a friend of mine loves to collect. And, you know, Ryan says, "All right, really, what did I need that for? That came for free with something else." And she takes it and loves it. So it's like you don't even have to use money, you know, to make somebody happy. Worth does that at our local dump. He has brought home some treasures. Yes. In Connecticut, they had a whole table that you could, like a whole area. It is so funny. Have a great weekend, Holman's Homestead. Hope your parents are doing well. Take care of everybody. But yeah, I think it's just, you know, I think it's important to have that kindness, to share. Kindness costs nothing. Um, and one of the things that let me see if I can read it here. I had it posted on Instagram. Oh, darn, it's gone. Let me see if I can look it up. The kindness you give out doesn't disappear, even if it feels unnoticed or unreturned. Your softness makes the world a little lighter. You never knew who needed your patience, your smile, or your gentle words. Keep showing up with love. You're planting seeds that will bloom in ways you may never fully see. I thought that was neat. Everybody's saying goodnight to Holman's. They got to get going because they're being kind, taking care of some family members, making sure everybody's all right, which I love. Tomorrow, making steak, egg rolls, and cheese taquitas tonight. Nice. Enjoy that, Drops. Yeah, I love that too. I love that too. Because you never know what people are going through. Um, and it just sometimes your kind smile can be the one thing that lights up their day. I think that that's important. And it gives so much to us to be kind to somebody else as well. So tomorrow is, so I missed the soil, what do you call it? The soil demo at Harvey's last weekend. I couldn't make it. Tomorrow I'm going to Harvey's for fresh milled flour demo. So I'm going to learn about some fresh milled flour. I've got a grain mill attachment for my KitchenAid. I really would like to get into it sooner than later, but right before I got the grain mill, we purchased a 50-pound bag of flour. So we got a lot of flour for a while. So I'm going to hold off on that. Heather said I'm pulling weeds, clearing the garlic bed. Good deal. Yeah, so Harvey's has got these really great demos, and I'm going down there for that. I'm still upset that I missed the rabbit one, because that was when Eleanor had the babies and we had a runt that we had to keep an eye on. So hopefully they'll have another one. I've been watching for that. Yeah, fresh milled. Harvey's has all this. This is what I love about them. They have a whole big shelf of all these different berries, or wheat berries, I guess you call them. And they will grind up to 5 pounds for you, which is really cool. Fresh milled, Heather, fresh milled flour. I have the grain mill attachment for the KitchenAid. Stone ground, just a suggestion. Go slow when you use your mill at home. It'll work your motor pretty hard. Thank you very much for saying that. Oh, I'm glad you got your coffee, Spartman. Yeah, it's too far from your office. I don't blame you. I know. I wish there were Harveys everywhere, like chains, right? But like, they really think of everything, and they really go out of their way to do a lot for the community. And it just does my heart so good that every time I go in there, there's people in there. So people are buying from them, which is awesome. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm very excited that the grain mill that we got is ours is all metal. Not like some of the KitchenAid ones that are plastic. This is an all metal one. I know that the flour mills that they sell nowadays, a lot of them have a stone. So mine is some kind of metal. I'll have to look it up. Seems like all the cool places like that are long gone over here. I'm sorry, Spartman. They're truly one of a kind. I really think they're pretty amazing. Let me see if I can KitchenAid green attachment. Okay, of course this is, oh, they're crazy expensive. Here's the craziest thing about this. They have those electric mills, like the Nutrimill and all that. And I'm not saying one's better than the other. Not, because I don't know. The Nutrimill is like an electric, then there's another kind and all that. Harvey's literally has a hand ground one no electric. Clamp it on the table, and it's so smooth because they have it set up in their store so you can use it. The price is off the wall compared to the electric. Isn't that crazy? I would have thought the manual would have been cheaper. But holy cow. I'm looking at the grain. I can't find mine. I found a newer one. Let's see here. Yeah, mine must be wheels that grind. Good. I'm glad you're being kind to yourself. I hope you continue to feel better. Glenn said he would never use a hand mill, all that work, and it still costs a fortune. I know. I know. It's a lot of money. It was so smooth, though. Oh my gosh. So smooth. Yeah, the Nutrimill is nice. It is so spendy. Looked at a stone mill way out of our price range. Yep. Oh, yeah. I wish I knew the name. Your mill probably looks like a mini hopper. You can set how fine you like the flour. Yes, I do have that capability. I looked at it when I first got it, but now it's been like 6 months since I got it or so, and I haven't looked at it again because, like I said, I don't use a ton of. I mean, I use flour, but 50 pounds for the two of us lasts a long time. And I literally just got it. So, but yeah, I couldn't. I wish I knew the name of the hand mill. I'm gonna look it up. Well, there's a bunch. Of course there is. Hand crank grain mill. Hey, our treasured home. Good to see you. This is not the one because I can tell by the price. Oh, jeez. This is not the one. Oh, blurry. But anyway, Joanna Gaines is that in Waco, Magnolia something or other. Her and her husband Chip did flipping houses and stuff. Also, the whole wheat flour is way different. We sift the flour to get most of the bran off of it once it is ground. Good to know. So, Annette, you don't grind your own, is that correct? You don't mill your own. But yeah, I need to look more into it. But anyway, that'll be fun to find more about tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. 9 a.m. Annette. 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Oh, that'll be funny. Hope you're doing well, Nancy, our treasured home. I'd love to try some bread made with whole wheat, but it tastes way different than anything else. It does. It does. And the nice part about it is once you, excuse me, once you get to the point where you're, skilled at it or know enough about it, it's like some people will mix like the wheat with something else to get a different texture that they like, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we grind the wheat, but only for our challenge month. Yeah, 9 a.m. on a Saturday is always difficult. I can get up. The problem is getting ready and being down there by 9 a.m. I gotta get my butt up, get dressed, and what do you call it? Get everybody fed and be down there 40 minutes away. I have our farmer's market at 8 a.m. and it's supposed to rain. Oh, I hope it doesn't rain, Ann. I hope it doesn't rain. What do you guys have going on this weekend? Tell me what's happening. I'm curious. I know I got some sourdough proofing now, and I'm gonna make breadcrumb. Well, I'm gonna make bread, freeze dry it, and make breadcrumbs. Exactly, Ariella. Exactly. Yeah, chores. Being human early is not my strength. Yes. That's so funny. Well, I'm looking forward to doing it. We'll see what we get out of it. I got some really cool information out of a bunch of their demos, so I'm looking forward to it. Well, guys, I am going to get going. I appreciate you all being here. Good conversation with you guys as always. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Take good care, everybody. See ya.